Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mayor Gabriel Reyes here with everybody's favorite MPT,
Mr. Daniel Ramos.
and a very, very special guest, hailing all the way from the state capitol, our amazing Assemblyman Juan Carrillo for District 39 has been able to just carve some time out for us. Assemblyman, thank you so much for joining our third episode of Adelanto Unscripted.
Pleasure to be here. Assemblymember Juan Carrillo representing the 39th Assembly District, which is right here. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, right? One of the things with this podcast that we always had envisioned to do with Adelanto is obviously just not just engage with our local community, but with our region, but as well really educate at the same time, right? I think a lot of individuals, including myself before I got into politics, really didn't know what's that, who handles that, right? So as we've had the privilege of inviting other representatives like yourself, we're going to invite our senator, we're going to invite SBCTA and other agencies and representatives to really help, our constituency grasp, right? Like what our electeds do, what they're all about, and what type of role do they play in regional government, but statewide and nationally as well.
I appreciate you doing that because it's important to inform and educate our constituents, in your case, the city of Adelanto, which is the one that you represent. In my case, the entire district, which runs all the way to LA County, cities like Palmdale and Lancaster. So what you're doing was a great idea. I want to thank you for that because your constituents, the city of Adelanto residents, need to know that you are there for them and they need to know who to call in case there's something that needs attention within the city. As far as us in the legislature in Sacramento, we need to know what your needs are so that we can coordinate what those needs are for the city of Adelanto, which again will benefit your constituents, your residents, and with the help of the pro tem here, it's always a great way to have those conversations. Happy to be here again.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I got I know we're going to split up in the segment here, and we've got some pretty great questions. But I want to start, Assemblyman, by thanking you, truly thanking you, and expressing our appreciation for not only what you've done in the city of Adelanto, but what you've done for the entire district. The more that I get involved in politics, right, I do see a disconnect between state officials and local officials. There seems to be this thing that when they get up to Sacramento or even out to DC, they become inaccessible, right? And you've proven otherwise, right? You, if anything, have become more accessible to us. And I was impressed. I'll share this story for everybody. I've shared it with you and Mayor. We spoke about it before. When we first met, I was truly impressed with you knowing all the names of the streets that needed help and repair in the city of Adelanto, right? I'll never forget when I met him, he said, yeah, man, we need to work on that Koala Road coming in from the back. It's terrible. And Air Expressway, I don't see how you guys drive down it in Mojave. I ran to Mayor after that. I said, Mayor, our Assemblyman knew all the names to the streets that we needed. It's great, right? It's great to have that relationship. It's great for you to truly know all the cities in your district. It's a massive district. You cover 2 counties, right? But thank you for being accessible. Thank you for always answering our calls. Every time we're in Sacramento, your door is always open to us, and you start with, what do you guys need? Right? So I just wanted to express that for everybody to understand and know the importance of how special it is for you to be accessible for us.
And I really think it's your career, right? Your pathway of what your experience that has made Juan Carrillo. You know what I mean? To be able to be in this position as Assembly, right? That's one of the things that when we sat down and we broke bread and really got to understand, one of the biggest things that I admired, and I do admire about yourself, right, is all the local government work that you've done, right? Do you want to expand a little bit of why you're able to be so effective and effective locally, right?
Well, I think that we can agree that the experience matters. Me being a city planner by profession, having worked for the city of Palmdale for 10 years, the city of Coachella for 6 years, the city of Desert Hot Springs, having run for office in 2013 for the Palmdale School District, then becoming a council member for the city of Palmdale for 6 years. That really gave me an opportunity to be able to bring to the table my experience, not only in Sacramento, but also in the city of Palmdale as a council member.
Yep.
And when I started looking at the 39th Assembly District, as you said, driving on the streets is the first thing that we have to do.
Yeah.
We have to know the communities that we want to represent. And that's why I started driving all over the 39th Assembly District, even from before, because I live in Palmdale. I work in the Coachella Valley, the city of Coachella, so driving on the 138. As you know, in the winter, sometimes the 138 gets closed because of the snow there. They shut us down Ship Creek and down to 395. So that gave me an opportunity to get to know the Victor Valley as well. But with experience, having been a city planner for about 20 years, and then when I went to the assembly, when I got elected in 22, really thankful to the speaker, Robert Rivas, who made me chair local government within 3 months. Coming in brand new, I chair of local government, something that allows me to put my planner hat on sometimes.
Exactly.
And being able to truly understand the needs and we need to be working on not only the 39 Assembly District, I represent the 39 Assembly District, but it's the state of California.
Yes.
And without trickling down to the local governments, so that's why I appreciate the relationship, not only with you, Adelanto, but also with Victorville, Hesperia, Palmdale, and Lancaster. Yeah. So that's, again, what I bring to the table and getting to know the district, knowing the needs. Yeah. And we've been blessed with having been able to bring resources to the district. I mean, you know that the first year we were able to bring some money to the city of Adelanto, other organizations that support nonprofits for our communities. And this year we're specifically very, very blessed to be able to bring about $40 million to the district.
Wow.
At a different capacity. We spearheaded a Money to Camino, a program that can help cities grow. We also had other requests for support for nonprofits as well, those that are the backbone of local communities, because they're the ones that provide the foods, you name it, the things like that are important for our residents to be able to get that help that they need at these difficult times. So as we continue to go through the process, I'll be able to share more specifics on what we're accomplished to be able to bring to the district. But really happy and excited to continue the relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect segue into, to talk about those resources and some of those projects.
Yeah, and let's just say thank you, right? Because one of the things that there's a lot of things about you, some women that I admire, right? But a lot of people talk it, but you actually walk it. You know, you've always said, party doesn't matter. I'm here to represent everybody.
Doesn't matter.
Right? I'm here to do what's good for the city I represent. And right out of the bat, you said your first year, you helped us with Prop 68 and our grant process to be able to secure $2.8 million for our splash pad park and our new park in the north part of town. Only local park that has a splash pad, right? You played a major role in securing funding and assisting us there. I think it started off at $500,000, and then you've helped us with the planning and securing some funding for another park that we have going on, right? So, and then that we're getting ready to announce here quickly and have a grand opening for is securing our chamber renovations that Mayor Pro Tem was hounding in of like, we gotta bring this thing to life, right? And securing and with funding with that, right? So that's supposed to be done by the end of the month, right? So we would love to try to coordinate with your schedule, one of our city the official city council meeting to have you present.
It'll be exciting.
We couldn't have been done without you.
To see that. Yeah.
The chambers were terrible, though, right, Assemblyman? Be honest, they were dark.
They were functioning. They were functioning chamber.
There we go. Exactly. There we go. I wanted to just share a little bit, right, on what are some other things. Not obviously we can't get too deep into it, but with what you have left as Assembly, right? You have a couple more, and we're excited for that. But what would be some things on the side of the valley, right? Because you represent Palmdale, Lancaster, the LA County side, on this side of the valley, not just Adelanto, right? But Victor and Hesperia you represent them as well. What are some of the additional goals or things that you would like to get done for the Victor Valley region?
Well, I'm currently on second term. We can serve only up to 12 years. This is my fourth year, 2 years at a time. One of the things that I really want to be able to see get started as far as construction, maybe not functioning, but the link between the Palmdale Metrolink station to the Apple Valley station for Brightlight. I know it's been talked a lot about. It goes back years, but I see that's in the near actual construction of that train connecting Rancho Cucamonga, coming along the 15 freeway, which is the high desert.
Yep.
It is really exciting to see that there will be not one station, but two stations.
Yeah.
One in Hesperia, about Ranchero Road, and the other one just outside of the 39 Assembly District in Apple Valley. That is going to be a catalyst for development.
Absolutely.
You know that. So to me, that I'm going to be working on is to be ready for that explosion of development that's going to happen. We need to work on infrastructure. There's a lot of drainage projects that we need to work on. Absolutely. As you are seeing, living in the high desert, Victorville, Hesperia, Adelanto, housing is more attainable. People continue to see the high desert, the Victor Valley, as a place where they family, where they can start having that American dream and able to buy that first home. And with that catalytic project, it's going to need a lot of other infrastructure, again, not only drainage. Public transit is another issue that I want to work on. Linking, again, the Victor Valley with the Antelope Valley through a bus line, something that we started working on to see how we can get people from the Victor Valley down to LA. In what I see, it's a faster way, because if you go across the high desert corridor into Palmdale, I think that it's faster to get Metrolink in Palmdale and go down to Union Station in LA. Here now, as you know, if you are lucky enough to have your own transportation, a car, you have to get on the 15 freeway. In the morning, it's just packed. Down the 10 or the 60, which is even worse.
Right.
So it takes longer. If you're lucky enough to own a vehicle, there is no public transit to go down to LA. So for me, looking at connecting the Antelope Valley with the Victor Valley and then get people head down from the Palmdale Metrolink station, I think that's going to be saving time to the residents in this site. That's in short term, getting that connection, working with the AVTA, Antelope Valley Transit Authority, and SBTA over on this side of the Victor Valley Riverside. I think that's one way that we can improve the quality of life for those that need public transit.
Right.
And those that need to go to LA for whatever reason it may be. So to me, that's something that I see in the near future. Obviously, getting Brightline started construction. People are going to be able to get up here even faster without having to be on the 15 freeway for 2.5 hours to get up here. And why not even your residents here in the Victor Valley get a job in Vegas? Those that want to still have a choice to work somewhere else, they can do that.
Absolutely.
Having been able to jump on a train, being in Vegas in 2 hours as opposed to 4 hours, that makes a lot of sense. But again, those are the things that I see in the future for the high desert. Happy to again hear from you what your needs, challenges, opportunities are. Another that I see coming to fruition is hydrogen.
Yes.
We were able to work on a hydrogen bill this year. The governor signed it. Worked really hard to get that to the governor's desk just before July 3rd, as opposed to January 1st of 2027. He already signed it. What that is going to do is going to allow the city of Lancaster to produce hydrogen. I know you're interested in doing that here in Adelanto too.
Yes.
So hopefully that will be another catalyst project that we can see and then get another production of hydrogen here in your city.
I love it. No, it's great, and it aligns. Your vision aligns with our vision as well, right? We've been involved with SBCTA the last 5 years. Mayor sits on transportation committee for SCAG as well, so it aligns with what we feel transportation needs to be in the high desert. And I like how you said we're planning for the future. We don't need to be planning for 500,000 people now. We don't. Right. They're here already. They're here. We need to be planning for the million, the 1.5, because growth is coming north, whether it's going north towards Palmdale, Lancaster, or north our way up to 15. They're here. So planning, being proactive versus reactive, I think is clutch and key.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wanted your insight on, right, because I know that you were either a sponsor or a supporter of the quote-unquote controversial 98, right? And I wanted to ask you in regards to Adelanto, right? I see that actually as a positive thing, because we are able to secure some of the framework of where industrial and manufacturing jobs have taken over communities, right? Whether bad or indifferent, they have taken over communities. There have been risks. There has been a lot of infrastructure damage because of transportation and trucks and so forth, right? But for a growing region like the high desert, Because I know that was hard from a planner's hat, right? You know, there's some things that the vitalness and the importance of it, and that's why I was supportive of it when I saw how much of an influence you took. Part of it was because I know you saw it from a planner's point of view, right? What would you say are going to be some major benefits that brings to the region 98, right? And as we have this massive expansion of industrial and manufacturing jobs to the high desert.
There's going to be challenges like with everything now, with those type of businesses coming to the high desert. But big advantage that we have, we part of representing this region, I think what we say blank canvas. When we can plan it right. We can make sure that those warehouses are situated in places that are going to be beneficial for the region, not only in terms of employment, but also in property taxes. As you know, those vacant parcels, they are worth some money, but you put a building on it, it's worth more, which means that property values go up, which means that property taxes benefit those local regions. The other advantage is, again, being able to plan it right, not put those warehouses in the middle of a neighborhood, which is what they've been doing down in the Inland Empire by the 10 freeway, right? Those were challenges that are faced by the industry, because they were there, they want to grow. They were able to some properties in neighborhoods, existing neighborhoods, and that's the detriment to those residents. We, on the other hand, we have, again, vast land. We have a way to be able to, with your departments, the planning department, economic development, plan it right. I mean, don't put them in the middle of a neighborhood. Put them where they are going to be the right place for them.
Exactly.
We have a lot of vacant land. That's where the advantage comes in. The infrastructure that is needed, they have to build new streets. They have to build that infrastructure. You know, with that comes sewer lines, water lines, streets, curb and gutter, sidewalk, along the way where they're going to be. But what that is going to do is bring other type of development, the commercial development, the shopping centers, because those places of employment are going to bring 2,000-3,000 jobs at least. Look at the one in Victorville, the Amazon that is going to open this fall. 2.5 thousand people working in there. Yeah. They're going to need a place to go and eat. Yes. Yeah, they'll bring lunch. You know, that's what we do when we go to work. But Friday comes in, you get paid, you're going to go eat, right? Yeah. So you need to have a restaurant, you need to have a coffee shop, you need to have that type of support, economic support for those employees that 2,500 employees that are going to work at that Amazon. Think again the increase on the value of that property. Now some of that tax is going to go to the city of Victorville, which they will be able to use for other projects, help attract other types of developments. Again, housing. There will be more housing built here in the Heights. Yes. Why? Because those 2,500 employees that are going to be working there, some of them are going to be local, which is the goal too. So we don't have to drive down below, as we say. Exactly. And now some of them will be able to work here in the high desert. Some from down below will come up here to work in that facility. Those are a lot of benefits that AB 98 brings to us, to the high desert. So again, having a blank way to develop, put them in the right place, that job creation, that economic development, and those are things that local governments like the city of Adelanto would benefit from. So again, that's a great way to see the positive of AB 98, because we have the land to be able to do that.
You make a great point when you say plan it right? Yeah. And to our residents right now, I'll speak a little bit to you. You know, a lot of residents that are frustrated, and we understand their frustration and we understand their pain as to why we're not building this and why we're not building this and we don't have that, because we build it right? Once it's planned, once it's built, to tear it down and plan again and then build it again, it's not happening, right? So thank you for bringing the point on making sure we plan right, we build right, and we can use other cities as examples of what to do and maybe what not to do.
Yeah. Right. And I think with AB 98, and I love how you mentioned about, right, because the circle of life and how you go a city, the first is you got to bring the jobs. Yeah. Right, so creating the proper framework for the manufacturing, for the industrial is pivotal. It's key, right, to ensure that they understand how they're going to benefit a community, because it's a partnership, right? Yeah. As much as they're finding a city, we also have to be the right city for them, right? When we bring the jobs, we bring the housing, right? In regards to the housing, what type of well, what can a city do, right? And personality in Adelanto, right? And we are still affordable in the high desert, like you made mentioned. What can we do on our side to be up? I know we have the housing element. Adelanto is one of the few cities that is compliant with the 6-cycle housing element. But what else can we do on our part to ensure that that we're available, that we're ready, and we're right on affordable housing, workforce housing, transitional housing, and be a good partner with the state?
Well, there is going to be an opportunity for us in the state of California to be able to build more housing. There's going to be a $10 billion bond on the ballot. That part of money is allocated different ways. Human workforce housing. That's something that I want us to focus on. We need to be able to attract to the high desert those new teachers, those police officers, those fire, those that work in civil service, so that they're able to come up here, be attracted to live here in our neighborhoods, because housing is costly. Yeah. So if we're able to get some of that money allocated to workforce housing from that bond, it will be an incentive for those young kids coming out of college, because as you know, teachers are in the retiring age, a lot of them. Yeah. We're losing teachers because they're getting to that age of retirement. We're losing sheriff deputies, again, because they're getting to that age. And it's difficult to attract that new talent in public service because housing is so expensive down below. If we're able to take advantage of that money that is allocated to workforce housing, my idea is to provide an incentive to those coming out of college to come and live up here in our neighborhoods.
Yes.
Because in my view, if I was 20 years younger, coming out of college,
right,
I want to have a place where I can afford to live. So if the city of Adelanto builds workforce housing and you tell that young new teacher, fireman, police officer, if you serve in our communities, we're going to cover some of the cost of your housing.
Yeah.
That'd be, in my view, a big way for me to come live up here, because I know that I'll be housing.
Exactly.
And I'll live in the communities that we want to serve. And that brings a lot of respect, too, when we want to get to know our neighborhoods as a police officer, as a fireman, as a teacher, because that's the talent that we need to attract in the high desert. Yeah. Losing a lot of those public servants, for other reasons as well, but retiring age is one of the primary reasons why we need to attract the new generation of civil service.
Right, and it's funny that you mentioned that the incentives. One of the sessions yesterday at 2028 transportation summit that they had down at the Intuit Dome. And one of the things they mentioned was that a lot of businesses right now and a lot of home builders that are leaving down there, that LA area, and coming up here and even going out of state because they're being incentivized. They're being incentivized. So that's a way to.
So we're not gonna talk to elections for ourselves, right? But it was great to be able to spend an evening with you the other night down there with Naleo and be able to hear them acknowledge you and just one of your many titles and hats that you wear, the vice chair for the Latino caucus, right? Yes. So I think that's also huge for us, for our region, that our representative is the vice chair caucus, with the fact that we're on the verge of making history, right? And I was with one of my Memeros down there at the conference about party. Right. This is about culture. You know what I mean? We have to have and support the first Latino, governor, right? And how huge that would be for all Latinos in California, right? As chair of the Latino caucus, what are some of the priorities that you seek, right, in that position that not just betters the state, but also betters Adelanto in the region? Well,
just to touch on the Latino caucus, we're 38 members strong, 35 legislators, both houses, the Senate and the Assembly. In the Senate, we have about 10 or 11 senators. In the Assembly, 25, 26. But we also have 3 constitutional officers, the insurance commissioner, State Board of Equalization, and the superintendent. Those are the 3 constitutional members. So just imagine having a Latino governor being part of the Latino caucus. Right. Wow. Having not only the governor, but we currently have the Speaker of the House being Latino, Speaker Rivas. Yep. In the Senate, the first woman, Latina mother, Monique Limon, pro tem in the Senate. Yep. So having those 2 in both houses, and then the governor, and then the 30 plus Latino caucus members, that will be a huge advantage for our communities, for California, period. because we're not going to govern just for Latinos. We're going to govern for Californians. And just a reminder that California is the fourth largest economy in the United States, in the world. So having that Latino representation on the three different levels of government in California, having a governor with experience having worked in D.C. As the Secretary of Human Health and Resources. So that's just a very big plus for us in California. And what that means to me is having those positions be able to see where the growth is needed. Yeah. My goal is to be able to go to future Governor Becerra and tell him, come to the high desert. Yes. See the opportunities that we have. Right. See how we are a blank canvas for an explosion, the next frontier in the high desert. Because everybody's going to be looking at us as the next frontier. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no place to grow in LA, a little bit in Riverside and San Bernardino, but us here in the high desert, the Antelope Valley and the Victor Valley is going. So that's the opportunity that I see with having Latino representation to govern for everybody in California, because opportunities be for everybody. That's right. Yes. But having somebody with a lot of experience as a governor, as Becerra is, and again, those in both houses in the state, and potentially 40 Latino caucus members, be huge.
Yeah. I want to squeeze one quick question in, Mayor, that I think is important. Assemblyman, what have you seen us local leaders, officials, and not just Adelanto, but the other cities as well? What can you identify that you feel we're doing well, and what do you recommend we continue to do more of, or just start to do to continue that path, going down that path of greatness and being ready for that next boom?
I think that you're doing the right thing, being part of SCAG yourself, being active at the regional level. That's important too, because SCAG, there's 6 counties they represent. Correct. Both counties are part of SCAG, LA County and San Bernardino County. Yeah. That brings attention to the leadership in SCAG. Having you guys involved in that regional COG makes sense, because they're going to be hearing from your needs, representing the city of Adelanto. Yep. I think that we need to work on the 3 cities in the valley to have a common goal. I think that if we're able to get together from the state level, myself, Senator, the 3 cities here, maybe we can work on a recreational facility. You mentioned parks. That's important to me. If we're able to have a recreational facility where all your local jurisdictions and us in the state are able to collaborate, I think that will be huge too. Yeah. And again, going back to planning for the future, which is not too far from here. Right? The needs that we have, we need to be seen as an opportunity in the high desert. That will attract others to come here. We'll see the better quality of life that people can have. As you know, I lived in LA for a little bit. It's crowded over there. You spend a lot of time driving even local streets. Once we get up here, it's a fresh air, because we don't have the congestion that you see in LA or San Bernardino. We don't have the bad aspects that happens in big cities. Yeah. We've been lucky enough to do that. However, we have to be ready for that, because with growth comes benefits, but also the side that we don't want to have. But unfortunately, with big urban areas, the bad aspects come along with it. So we have to be ready as our law enforcement. We have to be ready to talk to them. What is it that you need? What key equipment do you need? What tools do you need to keep us safe? Those kind of things. Having that direct contact with our sheriffs, Sheriff Dacus, with whom I had a meeting a couple of days ago. And those are things that we need to also be planning for. One of the things that we were able to secure this year, speaking of bringing resources here, is $40 million for more judgeships. We know that the Victorville courthouse is overcrowded. Yeah. Through my office, we got a request to get money for more judges. They're going to be rolling in 10 years, I believe. But they can start by looking at those areas that are in need most, and that's us. That's us in the Victor Valley. So be ready to see some judges in the courthouse. But that's going to be enough. We need to work on expanding the court, because it's small. The population grows. Absolutely. We need a bigger facility. That's something that we're working on the A caucus as well, to be able to start working together to identify a new site to build an even bigger courthouse, because again, with that growth comes more demands, and we need to make sure that we have a courthouse that is sufficient to provide those services to expedite those services when people need to look for whatever reason. The judges are there and they just don't get delayed, which makes it even more frustrating for those to go through that process.
Right.
But we have a big project. No, go ahead.
No, you first.
I was saying we got a big project right there behind City Hall.
Yeah.
Right. That we're wrapping up with Caltrans, and you've been the pivotal of us with that MOU that we're struggling with, right? But once we get Signal Light and right in, right out off of Cortez and Lawson, we have $1 billion civic center, right? That will break ground and we'll move forward with that. And I think talking about obviously a civic center and eateries and a massive project like that would need an anchor. Right, for lack of better wording, like a courthouse and those type of services, right? So just
So other things that I see that we need to work on specifically to your city is 395, that MOU that's just outdated. We've been working with Caltrans with that. It's been frustrating working with state agencies, but we're not giving up. We're just keep knocking on Caltrans' door to revise so that it allows for more economic opportunities. And by the way, I just had coffee at your new Starbucks on 395.
Nice.
Nice shopping center. But not only that, not only the economic development, access to new shopping centers on 395, we also need to work on getting the energy that you need up here.
Yes.
Edison. As you know, we've been working on that, and we will continue to do that with them because it doesn't matter how many millions of square feet you entitle. Without the electrification that is needed for those buildings, there's just no way that's going to happen.
Amen.
So that's another thing that I'm working on constantly. 395, Edison, get the energy that we need up here, and also the Joshua Tree. We need to work on the Joshua Tree. Happy to let you know that that's another success that we had this year. We feel confident that the governor is going to sign it this year because we've been working directly with the governor's office. And pretty soon we'll be able to find out. We go back August 3rd. August 34th is the end of session. The governor will have 30 days after that to sign our legislation bills, because, by the way, we have only 14 bills moving forward.
Okay.
Only 14 moving forward. One of them is the Joshua Tree. Another important one for us is desert dumping. That's another one, as you know. That's a big issue for us here, too. So we were able to get legislation through the Assembly and the Senate. Hopefully the governor will sign it, and that will give you more leverage on how to enforce and those that continue to do that.
Right.
It is not geared to penalize those small people that throw a couch, which is an issue, but it's more for that commercial dumping that we see here. Truckloads and truckloads of trash that come up to the high desert. We're not the dumping for people that do construction. So happy to tell let you know that's are things that I see being successful. And once again, once we go through the legislative process, which ends on August 31st, the governor has 30 days to law, and then we'll continue to work on other issues.
Yeah, and shout out Councilman Angelo Meza. He's been big on pushing, desert dumping and terminate it and do, better on that. Lastly, for me, I just want to, again, Assemblyman, send our love, thanks, and appreciation to the missus and the kids, and tell them that we thank them for continuing to share you with us and the rest of the district.
They're at Universal Studios right now.
Look, we're at Universal Studios.
Exactly, right? So, and I just want to say thank you. Assemblyman, you've been an amazing man. You've been a partner. You've been a great supporter, not just of the region, right? And that was one of my biggest concerns, right? Would we be able to have someone who truly represented this side of the Victor Valley? And you've done a phenomenal job, right? We had a district office in Adelanto for about 2 years. Right, you have now one in Victorville, over there, right? So we get all of those amazing moves because you have the whole region to worry about, But I want to say thank you because, being from Adelanto, living here since '92, and I can confidently say, right, for at least my past 30 plus years of living in the city, and not pat ourselves on the back, right, as electeds here for the city of Adelanto, but this is the first time I would say maybe in the last 2 years that I can confidently say that the issues that are restraining or hurting Adelanto are finally not Adelanto issues. Right, like you made mention, the MOU with Caltrans. You've been a major supporter of assisting us with that. The Joshua Trees with Fish and Wildlife, a major supporter of getting bills passed and getting action done, right? And then the third one, helping us energize all of the industrial and manufacturing jobs that we have, right? When those things are done here in the near future, the boom, not just in the region, but specifically the boom in Adelanto is going to be, truly tremendous, right? So Adelanto, when we share that, your electeds here have amazing relationships. We may not talk about it every single day, right? But trust us, the assemblyman reaches out to us, hey, what can I do? How can I help? Give us updates on everything that's going on. So please rest assured that what we're doing is not just building quality relationships, but we're supporting the right people who are truly getting stuff done, not just for the state of California, but specifically for our region. So I just want to say thank you for all of your support. You've been a man of your word. You've said that, that you're going to bring tremendous successes to the Victor Valley and to Adelanto, and you've done just that. So whatever we can do to continue to be supportive of your vision and the things that you want to get done, right? Let us know, because you've been phenomenal for the region, and we just want to thank you for all of your hard work.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate having the opportunity to be on your podcast.
Yes,
Mayor Reyes, Mayor Pro Tem Dane, I appreciate the time. You have my commitment. I will continue to work hard for our region. Thank you.
And we're going to be knocking on doors with you in November, sir.
Well, we have to do that too.
Get you in there.
Come on. So Adelanto Unscripted, that's that for our third episode. Again, our amazing Assemblyman Juan Carrillo, who represents the 39th District, everybody's favorite MPT, Daniel Ramos, and then myself, Mayor Gabriel Reyes. Thank you for your time. And drop the comments and concerns or questions that you want us to reach out to the Assemblyman, and we'll for sure get that taken care of. But until next time, take care.
Take care.
Thank you.